What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Give me Isaiah 58:1. That's what some of you don't seem to understand. Christ has sent the messengers back here on the island of Solomon to warn you before great destruction come. I'm going to show you that. Give me Isaiah 58:1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1.
Come on.
Cry aloud.
What?
Cry aloud.
You want to know why we speak so rough and why we speak so high and we're not speaking all soft and effeminate like some of your pastors in church? Because God commanded us to cry aloud. Because we're speaking to hard-headed people. Not just here on the island of Solomon. Papua New Guinea, our people are hard-headed. America, our people are hard-headed. Haiti, hard-headed. Jamaica, hard-headed. Wherever God scattered us, he said we are hard-headed and disobedient people. So he says to cry aloud. Cry aloud in what?
Cry aloud. Spare not.
We don't care about your feelings. When that young man came up here and asked for that cross back, some of you like, why he didn't give the cross back? We are not here to spare your feelings. God says, go out and tell them, warn them from me. That's what God commanded us to do. We're not here to play with your emotions. We don't care about emotions. We're not here for that. God sent us on a great commission to warn the children of Israel.
Right.
Warn you from the earthquake. Warn you from the hurricane. Warn you from the tornado. Warn you from third world war, nuclear destruction. But some of you are going to choose fire over salvation. Some of you are going to choose your sin that you lust after over salvation. A damn piece of cross, a piece of metal that probably costs $5, $2. You rather choose that over salvation. Read it again.
Cry aloud. Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
You want to know why we speak loud? God Almighty told us to lift up our voice like a trumpet. A trumpet is not soft. A trumpet is not a flute. A trumpet is loud. Come on.
And show my people.
Show who?
And show my people.
You brothers of Solomon Island, you are God's people. We don't care what the world calls you.
Right.
They call you Kanaka. Is that it? Yeah. Kanaka, which means nigga. You are not Kanaka. You are the children of Israel. You are the sons and daughters of the living God. He says to show my people
and show my people their transgression.
That's what we're doing. What is transgression? Sin. What is transgression? Sin. What is sin? The transgression of God's law. When you break God's commandments. God says to go out and show you that. Show you where you're going wrong. So I said Christmas. I mentioned you're not supposed to. How many of y'all can show me Christmas in the Bible? Show me your hand. Show me your hand. Because you've been celebrating your whole life because Pastor said it. Okay, one sister who's honest, she raised her hand. Sisters, those two young sisters right here in the front with the green shirts. You two. You guys go to the Catholic Church? Do you guys celebrate Christmas? You do. Good. Very well. You can be honest. We're not going to beat you up. I used to celebrate Christmas. Keyword used to. Is that in the Bible? Did Christ celebrate Christmas? Did Peter, Paul, Matthew, Barnabas, did they celebrate Christmas? Huh? So why do you celebrate it? Colossians 2 verse 8. Why do you celebrate it? Ask yourself that. Because you've been following the traditions of men. The same man that put yokes of iron on your neck is the same one that gave you these false holidays, these false religions to serve. Because they want to keep you in sin. The longer we're in sin, the longer we remain at the bottom. The minute we wake up as the Israelites, Christ said he would come and save us from the hand of all that hate us. Colossians 2 verse 8.
Colossians chapter 2 verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
God says beware, beware, be careful that any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Brothers and sisters of the Solomon Island, have we been spoiled with philosophy and vain deceit? Absolutely. All your religions is philosophy and vain deceit. Christmas is a vain deceit. Read.
After the tradition of men.
What man? After the tradition of men. What man taught us Christmas? Let me hear it. What man taught you Christmas? The white man. It wasn't the Chinese or the Japanese or the Arabs. It was the so-called white man. When he colonized you, he taught you Christmas. Read.
After the tradition of men. After the rudiments of the world.
After the world. The rudiments of the world. Give me... Is that it on that? Or is there more? Read.
And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. We ought to obey and walk after Christ. Now give me Jeremiah 10. Because is it recorded in the Bible? Yes. We're going to read about a particular day, a particular custom written in the Bible that God Almighty said not to follow. Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Oh, who?
O house of Israel.
The whole world.
O house of Israel.
Just the house of Israel God is dealing with. This Bible is for the Israelites, to the Israelites, by the Israelites. This is your constitution. This is the constitution of the greatest nation that ever walked this planet Earth. And you are still here today. I'm looking at the sons and daughters of Israel right before me.
Right.
Read.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Oh, to read it again, I didn't hear that.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
God says to learn not. N-O-T, meaning don't do. Learn not the way of the heathen. Who's the heathen? All other nations outside of the nation of Israel. The word heathen means nations. God says don't learn the way of the nations. We're going to read about a particular custom. He said learn not the way of. Read.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Come on.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Don't be dismayed at shooting stars. Don't be dismayed at blood moons and so forth. Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, because the heathens are dismayed at them. That's why there's such thing called a horoscope. Okay? Where you look up the month you were born. Oh, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm an Aquarius. That's garbage, according to God. That is another form of idolatry and witchcraft that God said not to do. He said, learn not the way of the heathen.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Come on.
For the customs of the people are vain.
He says the customs of the people, the nations, are lies. The word vain means lies. Read.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
So this particular custom requires the cutting of a tree out of the forest. Now let's do an examination. Process of elimination. What holiday requires the usage of a tree? Is it Easter? Huh? What the hell? Am I talking to myself? When you celebrate Easter, do you have to use a tree to celebrate Easter? Yes or no? No. Mother's Day, does that require a tree? Okay. Father's Day, does that require a tree? Christmas! Does that require a tree? Yes, yes, yes. Back in ancient Babylonian times that we're reading about with the time of Jeremiah, you had to go to the forest and cut it down. Now you can go to one of these Chinese stores and buy it. Now you can go to the white man's store and buy the tree. God says, what? Read it again.
For the customs of the people are vain.
For the customs of the people are lies. Read.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Come on.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Because you need an axe to chop that tree down. But now you don't have to do that. You can go to the store and buy it. Read.
They deck it with...
They what?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
Back during the time of Jeremiah in the Babylonian captivity, when we were slaves for breaking God's laws, we decked the tree with real silver and gold. Now you have what they call tree ornaments. Silver and gold tree ornaments that you deck it with. Read.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Back then you had to fasten it with nails and hammers to the floor so it couldn't tip over. Now you have the tree stands in your stores that you put the tree in. After you deck it with silver and gold. Read. Come on.
They are upright as the palm tree.
They're upright like the palm tree. Come on.
But speak not.
They don't speak because the custom, the ancient Babylonian custom, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to pay attention. The ancient custom was that the spirit of Nimrod was in this tree. You read about Nimrod in Genesis chapter 10. The whole planet Earth started to worship this man. And they said his spirit was in there. They said if you did not celebrate and bring gifts to put under this tree, that the tree would haunt you. That's why Jeremiah said, the tree can't speak, the tree can't move. He says, don't celebrate, don't worship that tree. That's what we were doing back then. So this is what they did. The white man, when he colonized you, he took this particular holiday custom, he repackaged it and redelivered it back to the children of Israel. He gave it back to you. And you know what he called it? Christmas. Nowhere in the Bible did the Israelites celebrate Christmas.
Right.
Now, if you truly love God, how many of you are going to celebrate Christmas this December? Either one thing. You celebrate it, you hate him. You love God, you don't celebrate Christmas, and you get rid of that Christmas tree. And you tell your fathers, your mothers, your sisters, your brothers, your aunties, your uncle, your friends not to celebrate it either. That's what a true repentant Israelite man or woman would do. But if you hate God, you're going to go on, you're going to follow the Pope, you're going to follow the Catholic Church, Pentecostal, Baptist, and you're going to continue in your Christmas.